Hi, I'm Steve Galvin, running for City Council for District 8. I'm originally from the Boston area. My dad was a machinist. He taught me how to build things and fix things. My mom was a librarian. And through all the time that I spent at the library, it was an incredible resource growing up. We weren't television watchers, we were book readers. And it's amazing the amount of knowledge that's available for free to anyone at your local library. I'm running for City Council because I feel that my business experience, construction and historic preservation experience, and track record of volunteerism and neighborhood revitalization is a great fit for City Council. I've been involved in the music business for most of my life. I've been a musician since junior high, and my first business was a music store, selling musical instruments. And I started with a buddy of mine. We had about $5 grand between us. We signed a lease on an 800 square foot building, and within 5 years we had a 10,000 square foot business and over $100,000 worth of inventory that we owned. I know small business, I know what it takes to grow a small business, and with us opening up 34th Street corridor as a CRA, I think it's important to have somebody with some business experience on City Council so that we get the right mix of businesses and restaurants participating on 34th Street. I currently operate a recording studio in the area. I cater to the toy industry primarily, but I hire local musicians and singers. And I'm also a metal sculptor, so I'm very well in tune with our artistic community. I mean, we've got a great arts community here in St. Petersburg, and I think that they need as much help as they can get from the city in order to flourish and be successful, not only as artists, but as business people, because creative people don't typically make the best business owners and operators, and I think that the city, via the greenhouse, can do a lot to help artists survive in the city and thrive, actually. My first house was over on 12th Avenue North here. I live here in District 8, and it was an 85-year-old house. It was in pretty rough shape when we got it. Nobody had lived in it for a number of years, and my wife and I put probably 5 years and tens of thousands of dollars into it to restore it back to the home that it originally was. About the time we got that finished, the rest of the neighborhood, the economy had changed, and the rest of the neighborhood had kind of tanked. We ended up with 7 vacant houses on our block. Much like Carl was talking about, the blight, the foreclosures. I support the foreclosure registry. I know what it's like to go through dealing with a bank on a foreclosure, and it's a nightmare. It shouldn't be so difficult for someone to buy a blighted house in order to improve it. So we decided to take our life savings and invest it in our neighborhood. We ended up buying 3 of the houses on our block, which I've restored, and we've got great families living there. We had drug dealers on our block. We got rid of them as well. 2 burglars, one that broke into my studio, another that I witnessed breaking into a neighbor's house. I showed up in court as a witness. Both of these burglars ended up going to jail, and we haven't had anybody breaking into a house in our neighborhood ever since then. So it's really made a difference by stepping up and getting involved. This kind of commitment to the neighborhood is contagious. Because once one person starts, fixing up a house, multiple houses, other neighbors take note, and they start doing the same thing. Our neighbors started doing, painting houses, doing some landscaping, and now we've got a much nicer looking neighborhood. And it just goes to show that you don't have to wait till you get on City Council to make a difference. You can just start on your own block and make a difference that way. My support of both architectural preservation and recycling is what led me to the position that I've always had regarding the pier. I think that the vote on the pier was something that the citizens overwhelmingly agreed on, and I think it was the first indication of where candidates stood on a very important issue. And my opponent in this race, she wanted to demolish the pier and build a lens, and that turned out to be not what most of the citizens were looking to do. I've been a long-time member of my neighborhood association. Volunteered at Tropicana Field, fundraising for Gulf Coast Legal Services. I tutored reading and still continue to tutor reading at New Heights Elementary School through Lawyers for Literacy. And I volunteer every year at the Mayoral Arts Festival. I also support Greenlight Pinellas. Having a reliable and frequent bus system will assist people in their job search and will help young people and low-income people who do not have cars get to work. My name is Steve Galvin. It would be my honor to represent our district at City Council. Thank you.